Coffee and cycling go hand in hand. Many pro cyclists marry their love for cycling and coffee to create a business, but few get it right. In the latest of my Girona Uncovered videos, I've come to find out more about the super successful Fábrica, one part of a mini empire created by Christian and Meier, and which began while Christian was still racing as a pro cyclist. He spent nearly a decade at the top tier of the sport, riding the Giro, the Tour, and the Vuelta in his career, before retiring in 2016. Girona is one of the best cycling destinations on the planet, and if you want to get more of the flavour of it, make sure you check out our GCN Plus Heartlands documentary with Mitch Docker. Christian Meier, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, good. I'm literally so excited about today because I want to learn more about your story and about why you set up Fábrica and why you decided to call Girona home.
Good question. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I think we should start with a coffee made by yourself. Is that cool?
Yeah. Yeah, I first fell in love with coffee, actually at a race when we were racing in Portland, Oregon once, which is like, you know, a coffee mecca. It has been probably one of the pioneers of specialty coffee since its inception. And then I really got onto specialty coffee and the taste and how it's like it can be so sweet and it's just such a beautiful, delicious concoction.
I love how you're talking about coffee.
And I spent like
it's oaky, smoky. It's like the people talking about wine.
Exactly.
They're so into it.
And I spent probably years like going to other coffee shops and like trying to like figure out, and then finally got my own machine, and I was like, I always had this idea of that first coffee I had in my mind and what it tasted like. You were hunting for this perfect blend, yeah?
When was it that you decided to kind of like dive in head first and actually sell coffee and make it part of a business?
After I did the tour in 2014, it kind of felt like we'd done everything. And for my wife, who was as much a part of my career as I was, it was sort of, well, what do we do now? She had worked in cafes, she had studied hospitality in school. I loved coffee, so it just kind of seemed like a natural progression to open a coffee shop.
Yeah.
We didn't think Girona, Spain, straight away, but then we realized we're probably going to be here for some more years. And also it was a place that allowed us to probably make the mistakes. If we had gone back to a city like Vancouver,
you couldn't make mistakes there.
And the barrier to entry is super high, because it's really expensive. And here allowed us to kind of just be like, chill, grow. It also allowed the customer to grow with us. Right. So over the years, we sort of developed a little bit of specialty coffee in Girona, and it took a while for local people to come on board. But now, like you say, you see in the city, there's like quite a budding coffee scene.
Do you want me to make you a coffee?
Yeah, sure. Here we
that
go.
one looks pretty good. All right, you ready? Should I empty that one?
Yeah, go for it.
In here. I'm just nervous.
Okay.
I just noticed because you are like, you know.
You can make a regular milk if that's your thing.
No.
Up to you. I don't want you to say, well, it was oat milk and then it wasn't as good.
Is that too much milk?
You're fine.
Okay, cool. It's got power boy.
It's got a bit of power, that. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. It's all or nothing, mate.
Jesus Christ. Okay, it's heating up. There we go.
You got it.
Is that alright? Okay.
Well, it's something.
It's all about tapping out the bubbles.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Not bad.
Sorry to all the customers here at Fábrica. Sorry to all the customers here. I've stopped now, man. Oh no. Okay, it's fair to say I know why Christian is the coffee shop owner and I'm not. Right.
We all start somewhere, man.
Yeah, exactly. Right, should we go outside and taste some?
Sure.
So I'll take this one because
Okay, thanks.
I know you love your coffee.
That wouldn't go out. Sorry.
So then you started Fábrica, did a year racing, 2 years racing, and then did you immerse yourself in the business?
Yeah, it was really interesting because obviously my wife, Amber, Fábrica is really kind of her baby.
Yeah.
You know, it was when we decided to open something, it was really because she was looking for something here to do. She was a very ambitious person and she had spent the last 8-10 years supporting me. So it was kind of her time to shine, really.
Yeah.
I still remember the first day, the first customer that walked through the door. And once that first customer walked through the door, it was already kind of a feeling of, if it stopped now, it's fine. Like just that whole process of opening and having that project and then fulfilling kind of something that Amber was kind of missing in her day-to-day was just super fulfilling.
Yeah.
And from there we grew the space, we grew the menu, we grew the culture of specialty coffee in Girona, because at the time when we opened, there was no specialty coffee. Now Girona's a completely different city. Like you said, you can come and you can incorporate very quickly. You feel that, most places are speaking English. If you go to a restaurant or a bar, or there's a big expat community, and it's kind of this, I wouldn't say quirky little town in Spain, but it's this town in Spain that's just built this little international community and international feel, probably more than anywhere else. In 08, 9, 10, there would be 100 plus professional cyclists living in Girona. It's so wild now to think back to those days of showing up there. That wouldn't happen anymore anywhere.
In every coffee shop, you're just sat with just like World Tour pros.
Yeah. What you see here is probably a lot of the younger pros are here.
23s as well.
For a younger pro to come and then be able to jump in on rides with more experienced pros or what have you, but you just, it's that place where you go and you just have the energy and everything's happening and it's just a vibe, it's super cool.
No, I hear it. And Coffee Gone, it's not just coffee you do here in La Fábrica. It's also wild food. And I say wild because I want to show you guys just the kind of offering we get here. This is a wild creation. So I've kind of ordered the
Chia Sensation.
The Chia Sensation. What I have noticed here, Christian, is that you got gold on your food.
Real gold.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, it's real gold powder. One of Amber's big passions is traveling. And she travels all over the world and goes to unique places and is inspired by places that she goes and brings back ideas and things and puts it together, and you end up having things like this.
Right, I'm going to tuck into this, and then we have got a little bit more of a surprise for you, because Christian is really kind in taking us around the gravel roads, because gravel is something that's also blown up here. And then we're going back to the bare beginnings of where I guess the roastery comes into play, and what you kind of sell as well. You sell the beans here, don't you?
A lot of beans.
Girona is literally a stone throw away, so it's taken us, 10 minutes to get up into the hills?
Less even, I would say.
I reckon the road riding is very well documented through the World Tour Pros here, but something that's massively growing is gravel.
Gravel, yes sir. The gravel riding around Girona is absolutely amazing. There's a lot of gravel roads and they always go somewhere. Very often you jump on a gravel road and then end up at a dead end or something. So it's kind of unique because you can just be riding on the road and hook off onto a gravel road and kind of feel pretty secure that it's going to come out somewhere on the other end.
It's like a rabbit warren. There's just trails everywhere. You definitely look the part. I looked at someone who's come straight off the road and borrowed a gravel bike, which is technically exactly what's happened. Anyway, I think we should see more of these trails because, as you can see, not only is the gravel good, but also the views. And there's going to be an even better one up top. So,
yes, sir.
Lead the way,
Let's
Christian. I'll try not to drop you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When I first really got more into gravel after I stopped riding, I was living in a place where I'd spent 10 years as a professional. I'd ridden every road possible, probably 1,000 times. And all of a sudden, on gravel, I was riding and I felt like I had a completely different perspective of the same place I'd spent 10 years riding.
Like a whole new world.
Yeah. Like this view, I never got before.
It's pretty amazing. Now, it's not just gravel you're into, is it? Because you've also found a whole new world, and that's trail running.
Yes, sir.
So why trail running? Because
yeah,
cyclists don't normally like running.
It kind of kick-started it during COVID because we had an extremely tough lockdown.
Yeah.
So 3 months we couldn't go outdoors, essentially. And when we could go outdoors, we were restricted to our municipality, so you couldn't go very far. So actually going on a ride was a bit mundane because I can go 10K that way and 10K that way. So it started to feel like a natural extension of gravel riding.
Yeah.
When you think about, you can ride most of the way up any of these big climbs around us, but to get to the peak,
you have to walk or run.
It's like that it just allowed you to go that bit further and just get to the very end of the trail. And then, like most things, I just went off the deep end. And
feels like you've done that with a lot of things though, like you don't do everything in halves.
No.
And I think we're going to find a little bit more about that back in Girona.
It's a blessing and a curse though, let me tell you.
Well, yeah, exactly, right. I think it's about time we head down because I'm sweating.
Got a few more things on.
Well,
right?
A few more things you've set up that we've got to see. That's what it is.
Let's go. Let's do it.
This has been wild already. Just heading down back to Girona. It's a mechanical issue. But I broke the cable. So I'm single speeding it back home now.
I got my brakes wrong way around.
Oh yeah?
Hold on, I'm not bloody... This isn't a cycling shop.
It's not. Ever since we started a bit more on the trail running side, decided last year to open a little trail running shop. So this is Overland.
Look, there's no stopping. Christian Meier.
Nah.
There it is. Wherever you seem to go, a hobby turns to business. I had to just check this out because I'm so used to seeing Christian in cycling kit, and now you're being quite known as a runner. And well, this look, I think it suits. But what about the moustache? I think you can rock it, but
yeah, I
story?
personally love the moustache because I think it makes people happy.
Yeah.
Whenever they see you with a mustache, they kind of smiling or laughing at you maybe, but you're bringing joy to people's lives. But then generally I get to a point where Amber says that's enough of the mustache, it's got to go. And then
I can kind of agree with her,
I mean, I managed to squeak it back in every year for a little bit, but yeah.
Look at that, I did not think I'd be going into a running shop, but there you are. Next stop, Espressos.
Well, here we are, Hank. This is Espresso Mafia.
Wow, this is your baby, isn't it?
Yeah, this was kind of Amber's passion was La Fábrica, and then for me it was a little bit more about the roasting and a few other things, so we decided on Espresso Mafia as the next evolution from La Fábrica.
I want to get in.
Here we go.
Let's see what it's all about. Espresso Mafia, here we come.
I thought, well, the next thing I'd like to do would be sort of clean and white and like a different style, a different aesthetic. Initially, when we opened La Fábrica, what we did was we actually outsourced the roasting. So I selected the beans, but someone was doing the roasting for us. And I was always still had in my mind that first coffee that I ever had, and I was still always
looking for it,
still chasing that flavor profile. So in order to control it and to really be able to go down that rabbit hole, I thought the best thing is if we roast our own coffee.
Okay.
So that's when Espresso Mafia was born. Coffee.
So talk to me through it. Like, so we got, what's the process?
So
you got
we have
beans,
our
like
green beans.
So these are green, are they?
Yep. So they come from different origins around the world. We've got from Guatemala, Brazil, Honduras, Ethiopia, Peru. So we're always kind of changing different coffees, different seasons. Give it a smell. It smells kind of like grass, hay.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Right?
It smells like hay.
This Ethiopian one has a little bit of fruity smell to it. If you tried to eat that right now, you'd crack your tooth. So that's a
solid hard,
super hard, super dense. And then we go through the roasting process.
And is it like popcorn? No,
yes.
It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't expand, but...
It does expand.
Oh, does
it does expand. So there is actually a point during the roasting where it pops.
I mean, it smells...
Tastes even better, mate.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Go ahead.
Just like...
Just
just like
pop
that?
one in, just like that.
Crunchy.
Ah, go. Coffee.
Wow. But aftertaste.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's quite strong. This is quite.
A little bit of red fruit there.
Yeah, red fruit, exactly.
Yeah, a little bit of blackberry.
It's amazing how you can get all those flavours out.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
And that's Peruvian.
That is Peruvian. Yes, sir.
Wow. I mean, it literally. And how long do you spend in here then?
Once a week.
Yeah.
So once a week we're here roasting. I can get most of it all done in one day. So that's good. We used to do more wholesale, so we'd sell to other cafes and do other things, but now we've just brought that down because we've got enough work to do for ourselves.
So there you have it, a non-stop tour of Girona and the coffee. And primarily, well, Christian Meier and what he's done here for Girona. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If it's inspired you or you've loved it or you love coffee, then hit that thumbs up button. What was your favourite bit, Christian?
Beating you up the climb.
What?
Did you though?
No, it's true.
Who knows?
Anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you thought. And anyway, we're gonna carry on with the coffee because this is absolutely unreal.
Thank you,
What
buddy.
bean are we drinking?
This is actually a blend of Brazil and Ethiopia.
I mean, a cyclist dream, isn't it? All right, we'll see you in the next video.